So, in this video, we continue with the linked list. If you remember, in the last video, we had a node uh, structure, and also we have a function to allocate memory dynamically for the node, and this displays the node information. And in the main method, we allocated memory for one node only and display the information. Now let's display allocate memory for another node. So here I say node pointer, okay, and this one is n2 and new node. And as for the parameter, let's say b, okay, and display the information n2. Okay, so now let me run this. Okay, it displays info A, info B. Um, now now they are not attached together. So one of them is, let's say, this is in Alabama and this is in Florida. Okay, so you need to link them somehow. Okay, otherwise, so the attaching them together. So we want to say start from the beginning and uh, keep continue all the way until the end of the list. So we don't want to store all of the information somewhere. Okay, so here let's say n1 is the first and n2 is the next one. Okay, so n2 will be the successor of the n1. So how do we attach them together? So we say that, okay, n2 is in Florida, n1 is Alabama. Okay, so we inform the n1. We say, okay, your successor, which means your next node, is located in Florida. Okay, and when you display all of the information in the list, you start from the beginning. We say, okay, display your information, A, and then we ask this one. We say, what is the address location of the next item? And N1 tells us that, okay, it is located in Florida. And then we go to the Florida, which is N2, and then we display its information, which is B. Okay, um, so here in the node structure, we need two fields actually. One of them is the information, which is A, and then we will tell this node, okay, what is your next node? So this N1 should know this. Okay, so in here, uh, this one is also a pointer to a node, and more commonly we call that next. Okay, so this node is not recognized in this line. So here we name this node, okay, as node. Okay, um, and here, so it's not type def yet. So here we need to also say struct. Okay, what else? Okay, so we have new node. So now let's do this. So we have new node, and in the printf, let's display the information of the location of the node and also the next one. Okay, so here info is the address location. So info is this, and let me put one or yeah, two spaces. Actually, maybe I can just get rid of these spaces here, and 1, 2, 3, and here let me say address of this node, and so percent p, okay, and 1, 2, so two space characters, and let me say next. Okay, so next one is percent p, okay, and then go to the next line. So here n info, so for the address of this is actually whatever the parameter is. So here I say n. Okay, and then next one is the parameter and n. Okay, actually let me just okay, so n and next one. Okay, let me do this, maybe it might be easier to see. Okay, so we have this. All right, actually let me do this. Anyway, so it didn't fit. Okay, so and after this, so we display the information. So let's see what this displays. Okay, so as you see here, let me do this way. The first one, information is A, and this is the address location, and this is the address location of the second node. As you see, next has not been assigned anything, so null. Okay, so now let's do this. We want to say the next of the A is, so the next of the N1 is N2. Okay, so here we say N1, okay, and next one, the next of the N1 is N2. Okay, so now let's, actually I'm sorry, N2 is not allocated yet. Okay, so now let me do this. Let me take the information of N1 and N2 all together, and in here this should come after we create the N2. Okay, so we have N2 and then we connect them together. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, so let me do this way. Actually I cannot, can I, anyway I could not do that. So here info A, and this is the address location of the first one, and the next one is this. This one is actually address location of the second uh, second node, so N2. Okay, so as you see, the address of the N2 is this one, 580, and the next one of the first node N1 is the same. Okay, so now this is how we attach them together. And for simplicity, we could also actually do this. Okay, so let me think. N1. So let's have a method, another method. So I can say void and set next node. Okay, so set next node. So the first one, so we want to pass two nodes here, and then they will be attached. And the order matters. Let's make the first one is the predecessor, and the next one is the successor. Okay, so the first one is a pointer. Okay, actually I can just call this first, and I can call the second one second. So okay, so first and second. So here we say the next of the first. Okay, so first, next of it is second. This one is an address location, and we put the second here. Okay, so I hope everything is clear so far. What else? Okay, so now let's see. So let's call this. So here, instead of doing this one, I can just call set next node. Okay, so set next node. and the first one is n1 and the second one is the n2. So after this, n2 will be the successor of the n1, or, or n1 will be the predecessor of the n2. So let me run this. Okay, so it worked successfully. This one is the first one and this one is the second. So as you see, the next of the last item, which is the n2, is null. Okay, so this is what we wanted. And its address location is this, like it ends with a b0. And if you look at the first node, the next of it is the address location of the second. Okay, and then this is how we attach them together. Okay, and also now let's, instead of having this one node info, let's say we want to know where to start, and we know that n1 is the starting point, and then we will say just keep going in this chain until, so, and then we need a stopping condition. The stopping condition is, as you see, the last item, which is this, and the next of it is null. So as soon as we see a null, we say, okay, this is the stopping condition. Stop right here. Okay. Now let me do this. Okay, so I can just delete this one, and actually to save some space, let's okay, so we create two nodes, n1 and 2. Okay, so what else? Okay, so here let me write the method in here. Actually, let me just do this. Okay, so here let me write this. Let's say, so it is a void, it doesn't need to return anything. So display nodes, all of them. Okay, and I just need to know the first, the address location of the first one. So I say this is a pointer to node and first. Okay, so I start from here, and the stopping condition is as long as the next one is not null, just keep going. So if the next one, so let's look at the first one, first node. The next one is not null. So that means there is another node, and we should visit the another node and display its info. Okay, so we don't know how many times we will iterate. So for loop is not good for this. So we just use while loop. Okay, and the condition is we say first. Okay, first one. Okay, so while it is not null, just keep going. So in the statements, we display the information of the node this way. Actually, should I display the, I think you got the idea already. So anyway, so let me keep this way, and then I can correct it. So node info first. Okay, and then we need to iterate this one. So we say first. Okay, so we need to make first to go to the next one. Okay, so first, let's say first is Alabama. Okay, and the next of the first is Florida. So from Alabama we need to go Florida. So this one becomes, so first, which is Alabama, and successor of this next is Florida. So we get the Florida and assign it to first. So the first becomes Florida. Okay, so it was Alabama, now it is Florida. So while first is not null, so consider the last item. So in the last item, so we display the Florida and we say, okay, update this. So next of the Florida is null. As you see here, it is null. And so first becomes null, and then we come to the condition again. The first is not null. No, it is null. So this fails, and then you don't iterate anymore. Okay, so in here, let's call this. So display nodes, and the first one is n1. Okay, now let's see what this does. Okay, it worked again, and because you got the idea, so let's display it in this way. So in the display nodes, so instead of doing it, I can say maybe printf. Okay, so printf, and let me say items, and what else? So here, let me just use printf again, and here let's display each item c, maybe one. Okay, so one space character, and this one will be first. Okay, arrow sign info. So we will display it and update this, and after we are done, let's go to the next line, printf %n. Okay, so now let's see how this works. So items A, B, and then we are done. I hope this is clear. Have a nice day.